Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and I gotta admit, it is getting cold here in Canada, but I don't quite think hell has frozen over, which is strange because, well, Apple just cut their commissions, which I thought would only happen after hell froze over. But nope, that is exactly what just happened with an asterisk. So we're gonna look at the details and what that asterisk means, but straight from the horse's mouth, on Apple's website, we have an announcement that they created their new App Store Small Business Program, and the new program reduces App Store commissions to 15% for small businesses earning up to $1 million per year. Now, of course, the devil is in the detail, and we also don't have quite all of the details yet, but we've got most of it here. So we're going to jump in, take a look at this press release, and then we're going to look at a little bit of the backstory after about why they're doing this. So basically, Apple announced an industry-leading new developer program to accelerate innovation and help small businesses and independent developers propel their business forward with next generation of groundbreaking apps on the App Store. The new App Store Small Business Program will benefit the vast majority of developers who sell digital goods and services on the store, providing them with a reduced commission on paid apps and in-app purchases. Now, this next sentence, it's a little weird to me. I've read it like 6 or 7 times. It can go either way, but I think it's just bad wording. Developers can qualify for the program and a reduced, comma, out of place, 15% commission if they earned up to $1 million in proceeds during the previous calendar year. I think an easier way of saying that is if they made less than $1 million. The wording, again, is a little weird there. I don't think there's a gotcha there. I think it was just strange wording. But basically, if you made less than $1 million, you can qualify for this program. It will launch on January the 1st, 2021, and obviously comes at an important time where, COVID is really hurting people, and, Apple is just known for being an altruistic company. So, of course, they are looking out for their developers. It's got nothing to do with antitrust suits in the US, EU, Epic Games, Microsoft, Facebook, or anything else. Nothing to do with any of that. This is all about COVID and Apple being swell. Now, don't get me wrong. There's probably a little bit of truth to that. People are hurting, and this comes at a good time. And then something from Tim Cook, blah, 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 blah. So here we are into the details. We're not going to actually know the specifics until early December, but the TLDR version is existing developers who make up to $1 million in 2020 for all their apps, or new developers. So don't worry, you don't have to be an existing developer to qualify for this. So this is basically anyone that hasn't earned any money yet, or people that made less than $1 million for everything. So if you publish 600 apps and they grand total add up to more than $1 million, you don't qualify for this program. But if you make less than $1 million across all of your applications, you do qualify. Also, if you go over the 1 million threshold, the standard commission rate applies for the remainder of the year. So I think that first million, by the way I'm reading this, again, we need to wait till early December for the specifics, but it's sort of making it sound like developers' first $1 million is going to be up to a 15% commission, which is pretty cool. And if developer business falls below the 1 million in a future calendar year, they can requalify for the 15% commission the year after. So looks like if you make over $1 million, you're out of it the next year. But if you make less than $1 million in the follow-up year, the year after that, you'll drop back to the 15%. So that is what we know right now. The 30%. Apple's standard commission rate of 30% remains in place for apps selling digital goods and services, making more than $1 million in proceeds, defined as developers' post-commission earnings. And then earlier this year, an independent study by found blah, 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 blah. All right, so that is kind of the crux of the announcement today. And you know what? I'm not going to take anything away from it. This is very much a good news announcement for you guys. If you guys, the majority of my channel, you're probably smaller developers. You're not making multi-million-dollar titles. So if you've published something on the App Store and you made $10,000, you're now going to make double that. So that's a pretty significant thing, especially for the smaller developers out there. That commission hit probably hurts those people more than anybody. I actually kind of find this, I like the idea of a tiered commission that it favors the people that are making less money. It's kind of nicer than the Steam approach, which took the opposite, whereas, oh yeah, no, screw you, you pay us 30%, but if you make millions and millions and millions of dollars, then we'll give you a break. Basically, Apple are flipping that on its ear and giving a break to the people that are making less and less money. Now, ironically, this actually has really great synergy with Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine, you don't pay anything until you make $1 million. So if you're using Unreal Engine to develop your game, ironically enough, for the Apple App Store, and you make less than $1 million, it's completely free for you, and you're only paying a 15% commission for the App Store listing. Win-win for developers all around. So let's look at a little bit of the history of why Apple might be being, nice. Not something Apple is generally known for doing. And of course, COVID, you can't dismiss that. People are hurting. There might literally be a bit of an aspect to that, but there's also a couple other things happening in the world right now. So right now, if you don't know, Epic Games and Apple are kind of at war. Epic Games kind of really hates their control over the App Store, their commission structure, and this is obviously a bit of a fight back against that 30%. Now, Epic said that they're going to war for everybody, not just Epic. So in some ways, Epic just won a small battle here, and this one's kind of going back and forth in the courts. This is an ongoing story. I've covered a couple of aspects of it in the channel. It's going to be interesting to see which way this one goes, because sometimes the judges lean one way, sometimes the judges lean the other way. This one's going to be going on for quite a while, and it's going to have a huge impact on the future of the App Store, which, by the way, accounts for $50 billion worth of Apple's revenue. So they care. They definitely do care. Also, Apple has gone to work simultaneously with Google and Microsoft, and technically Steam as well, they have a really stupid policy over game streaming. Anything that is game streaming has to be submitted to their store, blah, blah, blah. Basically, xCloud and the likes won't work out of the box on Apple's products. So they're not making friends from Microsoft, they're not making friends from Google. On top of that, Facebook is out there in war with them as well. They do not like the commission structure of their App Store, their policies towards it. So they're at war with Facebook as well. And then, of course, we have the EU antitrust probe, and Spotify is also at war with Apple right now as well. And, of course, we have the U.S. House antitrust report there, kind of looking at Apple going, no, you're a monopoly. And you listen to some of the congressmen, they literally just basically straight out said that. So let's just say that Apple is under siege. Oh yeah, and I forgot about this one, Basecamp. They shut down the Hey email app for duplicate functionality or something equally odd back in the day. So there's a lot of war fronts going on right now for Apple. So that is ultimately, I think, more than altruism or just being nice, that is what they're doing here. They're basically coming a step back saying, oh, no, not 13%, not 30%, 15%. And you know what? I don't really ultimately care. I think at the end of the day, the fact that the small indie developers just started making twice as much money, I don't care how we got here. I don't care if it's Epic or Microsoft or Facebook or the US Congress or the EU or anyone else that is responsible for it. I just like the fact that we arrived here, and bravo. And I gotta guarantee you, if none of this had happened, if nothing else, none of those lawsuits were happening, none of the antitrust trials or investigations were taking place, this wouldn't be happening today. So what basically just happened is the little guy won. He may have won by accident, but at the end of the day, he won. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how this will impact all those various different other lawsuits. In theory, you can't really change something after the fact and get away with it, but the legal systems are Byzantine laws. Who knows how that's going to work out? But again, at the end of the day, this is just great news for developers. And the cool part, again, is if you use something like Unreal Engine, again, you don't pay a cent until you've made over $1 million. So for small developers making less than $1 million a year, life just got a whole lot better on the App Store. And for those making over $1 million a year, well, good for you. All right, so that's it. So that's the news. What do you think? Why do you think they're doing this? And what do you think about it? Does it make you more likely to develop for the Apple platforms? Or are you still like, that ship has sailed? Let me know. Comments down below, and I will talk to you all later.